Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Government has condemned an alleged racist incident which took place at Hank's Old Irish pub in Cape Town. Thabiso Danca was reportedly barred from entering the establishment, allegedly because he wasn't in the company of a white person. Now, the victim's friend, Christopher Logan, intervened and an altercation ensued. Logan joins us now for more on the story. Christopher Logan, a very good evening to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Thank you for your time. We saw your video going viral as you confronted this pub owner, defending your friend. Talk to us about what was going through your mind as you were standing there and thinking about it before you made your confrontation.
Thank you so much for having me, and welcome to all the listeners. What was going through my mind before starting to confront the owner was a sense of complete outrage that someone I care about so much, that's so close to me, and that I consider a brother, had received treatment like this in a place that I can walk into freely and without anyone saying anything to me. It incensed me. I could see no justification, and I believed it had to be confronted head on.
So as you confronted him and doing it very bravely, what sort of reaction were you expecting from him as you were talking? And surely it must have taken a lot of courage to really stand up to him.
I wouldn't say it was courage. I just felt like there was no other choice. I felt like once hearing this, I wouldn't be able to think about anything else, and it had to be done. I don't think it should be commended, honestly. I think it should just be expected. If you hear something like this. And then the reaction we were expecting was that maybe a more apologetic and maybe a commitment to retrain the staff and take responsibility for this incident and that this is unacceptable, but rather we were told that they reserve the right of admission, and that essentially standing by this is the sense that we got.
Is it the first time you came across such a situation and heard of the revelations in terms of the sort of prerequisite that's required to enter the pub? Was it your first time hearing about it?
Yes, it was definitely a first time hearing about this at Hank's. But to be clear, this is maybe a very explicit example of this sort of terrible racist behavior. But in South Africa, in Cape Town, this is not exactly unique. This is an everyday issue that many black South Africans face, and that I hope this incident can draw more attention to, and that this is bigger than Hank's, and it's a societal issue we need to confront.
Yeah, and it showed that there are many people locked in a racist paradigm, really, and raising a lot of concern of something that's almost like a vicious circle. I mean, you say that it's quite common in Cape Town and surely throughout many parts of South Africa. What do you think it's going to take to get to, those who are locked in this racist paradigm?
Well, I think firstly, and I hate that it has to be like this, but there has to be serious fear about the consequences of doing this sort of behavior. You can't think that doing something like this you'll get away scot-free. And I'm sure that Hank's has done this many times before to individuals, and there was simply just no consequences. And every bar and nightclub and institution in South Africa should fear doing something like this. And then there needs to be a broader discussion of how 28 years after democracy we still have such rife and explicit racism in South Africa, and I think as a society we need to confront that.
So as you made the confrontation, I mean, we're playing bits of the video that's gone viral. What happened thereafter? Were you able to carry on and enjoy the night, or did you ultimately leave?
So after that incident, after the video ends, the second owner arrived, who was far more aggressive and essentially told us that we were jokes and that we were entitled. And then he continued to summon every black member of his staff and put them in front of us and question them on the spot. Have I ever been racist to you? Have I ever told you to be racist? Which was very humiliating and dehumanizing for them, almost singing for your supper sort of thing. And then he proceeded to tell us to leave and that he was going to get the bouncers to remove us. And we said, no, we're calling the police. We'd like this addressed now by the police since you are not able to address it. And then they attempted to forcefully remove us. And a scuffle broke out. It's all been recorded, and we've laid charges of assault, besides that the racism row that we've also laid charges for. So the response from top to bottom from this institution has been shocking.
Is it still open? Is it still operating? Do you know?
No, it is closed. And they've, I think, recently released a statement saying that they're closed until further notice. But even in that statement, they double down and say, they've never had a racist incident in 30 years, and they refuse to issue any sort of a public apology. So I'm not sure what they think is going to come out of this. Clearly, the reaction from South Africa has been very clear, and I don't see them being able to operate in the way that they did again.
Have you, since all of this went viral, have you had other people perhaps messaging you and telling you of their experiences at that pub?
Yes, a lot of people have shared how they have experienced interactions at Hanks. There was even someone who went on the radio today on 702 saying that they're aware of similar interactions at Hanks, and that Hanks supposedly has a reputation for this. So a lot of people have come forward and said that this is an issue, and also shared similar stories throughout Cape Town and South Africa. Again, pointing to this is not unique, and it's everyday experience for many people.
Christopher, thank you so much. Thanks for detailing your story.